Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a book review. I'm so excited. I have got my love of reading back. I think I've told you that I go through slumps, and I was in a slump for a while, and I'm officially out of it. So I have two books to review with you. As you can tell, it's been raining here. You see my chairs are like half wet and half dry. That's so funny. Anyway, I wanted to thank you because a while back, I think it was in a Stitch Fix video, I asked for book ideas and you guys came through with so many. So on my next book review that I do, I'm actually going to have a list of all the books that you guys suggested. So if anybody else needs some ideas, they will be able to go there too. But today I didn't use any of your suggestions because I had already purchased two books and I felt like I wanted to stay a little frugal and use what I already had. We just dropped a bunch of money obviously for back to school, and you know, fees are starting to add up for acting and hockey and new helmets and new shoes and all that. So I have two reviews for you. Before I get started though, welcome to my channel. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button. I'm so happy to have you. Hit that notification bell, and you guys always comment on your favorite books because I love to hear them and I will add them to the list. I actually have a cheat sheet based on a few things, but let's go ahead and get started. So the first book I read, I bought this book several months ago, and it is A Man Called Ove. I actually read through the whole book with it being Ove, which I knew was wrong, but it's just how I was pronouncing it. But I did look it up, and it looks like it's Ove, like, yeah, Ove. O-O-O/V-E-H. It's a Swedish name. So if I am still saying that name wrong, please do not fillet me. Just be kind and know that I enjoyed this book. So this book was very interesting. I didn't choose to read this book at the right time because I was on vacation. You guys know we went to the mountains, and then we went to Emma's competition in Florida, and then I went back to Florida for girls trip, and then to Chicago. So I was kind of in and out and in and out and in and out, and packing and unpacking. And this is not an easy beach read book. It is a great story, and I really did love it. But Ove is a grumpy man. He's clunky, and so the writing feels clunky. It's not the author, it's just the character. And I had to concentrate, especially in the beginning, on this book and kind of keeping everything straight with him. What was great about this book is I would like read it on a plane, and then I would go to girls trip and have 4 or 5 days where I didn't read it and then go right back into the story, and it felt like I never left. It wasn't like, oh my god, until the end, it wasn't a like, oh my gosh, I can't stop reading this book. It was an easy one to put down and pick up. So if you're in a time in your life where you don't want to fall in love with a book and get distracted because you have a lot of things going on in your life, this might be the one. I really loved this book. I loved the ending. They're actually making it into a movie from what it says in the back. And this author, it says Music Box Films, now a major motion picture, so I guess it's already been made into a movie. Maybe it's an indie movie or something. Anyway, I really did love this book. It's just a sweet story about a man. He's had a sad life through most of his life, and then in the book he is at his all-time low, like low, and everything makes him grumpy. He's just an old school guy. He believes that everybody, you know, men don't know how to hang a picture in their house or fix the tires on their car, or all those little simple things that he believes everybody should know, and it annoys him that people don't know that. He's just very old school, and he likes things the way he likes them, and he believes in things. But this family moves in, I think, across the street from him, and they kind of cause havoc in his life and kind of shake him up. And anyway, this cat is a really fun part of the story too. So I'm not going to give too much away, but this book I really did like, and I think it's a great book for going into the fall. It's not, like I said, a beach read, but it is a good read, and if you stick with it, it took me a little while, a few chapters to sort of get into it. It's worth it. So that was my first one. My second one I actually read on my Kindle, and I'm not exactly sure when I bought it because I go through phases where I'll get a, you know, if you're a Amazon Prime member, you get a free book a month, not any book you choose. They have certain books that you can get. And then every once in a while I'll just go on Amazon and I just put in the search bar free Kindle books, and I'll load a couple things in that just look interesting. That way if I don't have something to read, I can kind of peruse through those and see what's already downloaded in my Kindle. So I don't know if that was one of these, if it was a free book, or if it just looked cute and I decided to order it, because sometimes I will just go in and order like 5 books and keep them in my Kindle so that I have them downloaded and ready to go. So that's kind of what happened with this book. I actually had downloaded another book at the airport because when we were leaving Chicago, I finished this book. We were at the airport and we had a 5-hour delay in our airplane, on our flight, so I had lots of time to read, but I downloaded a different book, and when I got on the plane it hadn't finished downloading, and I was like, well shoot, what am I gonna do, and found this book in my Kindle. So this is called The Boy Is Back in Town by Meg Cabot. Actually, I just want to make sure that I'm saying that right. It's just The Boy Is Back, not in town. The Boy Is Back by Meg Cabot. And this book is so interesting. It is totally written in text messages, diary entries, merchandise reviews, Facebook posts, all kinds of, it's not conversations between two people in the way that they're sitting across from each other. It is conversations all through various forms of social media and text messaging. And it was so funny because on the plane Emma looked over and she's like, Mom, is that whole book in like text message? And I'm like, I'm not sure, I think it might be. It was a different way to write a book. This book was so easy to read. If you are the type of person that like wants to read before they go to bed, but like read one paragraph and then fall asleep, this book is for you, because the conversations are so short. Some of them are pages and pages, but some of them are like newspaper clippings or different things like that. So it doesn't, some of the chapters or the conversations are really short. It's also, it's funny. It's a funny little book. It's about a girl and a boy. All books are about a girl and a boy, right? And they were high school, they dated in high school, and on prom night something happened, I won't tell you what, and he actually went away and she did not hear from him for 10 years. She tried to contact him a couple times based on the incident that happened, and he never responded to her. He's a pro golfer and is pretty famous, became pretty famous, and never kind of got over her. And this happens very quickly. His parents go into, his parents were a very prominent judge and their wife. They live in a very beautiful house on a golf course. Everybody respects them. And they go in, they're a little eccentric though, they go into a restaurant and pay with a $4, what is in essence a $4 postage stamp, but they thought it was worth like $140. They thought it was worth much more, and they were giving the waitress like a big deal, but they ended up in jail. So in that, they find out there's a lot more going on with the parents. So it's conversations between all the kids, the grandkids, the girl freaking out and her family that the boy is coming back into town. And it's just a fun, easy, cute read. I will say this is not 100% clean book. There is a little bit of talking about like teen drinking when they were younger and that kind of thing. There are some funny parts where one of the brothers is trying to curse via text and he's like, fudge, I mean fudge, I mean fudge. Ah! So there are some laugh out loud moments in this book that are just kind of random and fun. It is definitely an easy read. If you don't want to concentrate on anything and just want to get lost very quickly in a book, this would be the one for you. So that's The Boy Is Back by Meg Cabot. The next book that I am reading, I haven't started it yet. I'm going to start it tonight, but I thought I would give you an update in case you guys wanted to get it too. This book actually came out in February and I ordered it in February, but I hadn't read it yet. It's by Sophie Kinsella and it's the My Not So Perfect Life, and that is her newest book, and I'm excited to start it. So if you want to relate to me in my next book review, or say I read that book and we can have a conversation after the book review, then go ahead and go to your bookstore or Kindle or your used bookstore or however you choose to read and grab that book, and we'll see if we like it together. So what do you think? Are you gonna go read those books? Do you have another book that you like? Add it to the bottom, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.